Thank you for being a friend. You're my best friend. That's what friends are for. With a little help from a friends, and they go on and on and on. Songs about friendship. My mum used to say, if you can count all your friends on one hand, you're a rich person. I thought, you're crazy, lady. I've got so many friends, too many to even name. Well, as kids I did. But as I've gotten older, I realised that, well, mum was right. I have a lot of acquaintances. I've got a lot of friends on Facebook. But when it actually comes down to best mates, you know, the ride or die, on one hand, she's right, on one hand. So why is it hard to make new friends, especially as we get older? Are we just kind of happy with the way our lives are? Is it actually harder? Do we not want to bother? In New Zealand, the 2023 Wellbeing Statistics Survey showed 72.8% of people felt that they had the right amount of contact with friends. 24.1% felt they didn't have enough friends, and only 3.1% felt they had too many. I got too many friends, get rid of them. Matt Hammond was a researcher of philosophy at the University of Victoria who said that relationships are vital to our health and actually help us live longer. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? And actually, it doesn't have to be a lot of friends. Just one close relationship or friendship does the trick. Find Your Tribe is a New Zealand company that helps women connect with each other, and the founder is Sarah Clark. Sarah, good afternoon.
Hi there.
Look, before we get into Find Your Tribe, Sarah, you were a therapist, correct? What were you noticing?
Well,
Long singing well?
it was all about, like, my first question was always about, so tell me about your home life. How's things at home? So, you know, I'd always like to clarify how people were feeling supported. And my second question was always, and tell me about your social network. And it was about that point that women's feet would start to shuffle and she'd look a little abashed and she'd say, oh, well, you know, it's just hard. I've moved around a lot with work and I've lost my connection with my school friends. And there was generally an explanation as to why her friendships had been allowed to flounder. And I guess over time I just started to just think, well, this is madness. I mean, all these amazing women who have lost connection with each other, and I started to draw some correlations between that, the lack of connection with her women folk and the flailing sense of confidence, beginning to think, oh, this is just me. And also, I guess one of the things that I was also most struck with was that women were coming and were talking to me about things that could have honestly been cleaned up and normalised just over a coffee chat with a girlfriend.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think with women too, you know, depending on what stage in life, you know, when women take time off work to raise their kids, they almost then can lose work friends, at least for a while, and they kind of they could have coffee groups, but some of them don't. Marriages can break up, and then it's like friends go which way. So I mean, I can understand it's certain stages of your life you find yourself with maybe less connection to friends. So this is kind of why this is why you started Find Your Tribe. How long's that been running?
That is why I started it, and it's now in its eighth year.
Oh,
and
nice.
I guess one of the things that I just continue to marvel at is just how many women are in that boat, whether they're at home raising children, because that was a really lonely time, or whether she's at work and still raising children and trying to maintain some semblance of order in her working life. And yeah, those chats with women at work can be nice, or sometimes too, I think. It's just we're so busy trying to be everything to everyone that one of the things that goes first for women is their friendships. So I think, there's a huge demand for it. And I've just been blown away by how many women are reaching out and saying, thank you so much. This has just been what I needed. I suppose I haven't been surprised because I suspected that we were all in the same sort of boat. busy at
Well,
home, busy
how
at work,
yeah, but
busy.
how does it work then, Sarah? So walk us through. I mean, it's only for women, and how does it work if you join Find My Tribe? What do you do?
So you join a Facebook group, and then I think what works very well is to make an introduction post in there, because there's lots of women who are looking at that page, and so it's quite fun, really. You make a post, and it's kind of like, "Hi, this is me. This is what I'm. These are the kind of hobbies I enjoy, or these are the sort of things I'd love to be doing with some lovely new friends." And then women find themselves awash in comments and, "Hey, that sounds great. Hey, I'm new to the area. Oh, I live out that way. Oh, I have children that same age,"
Oh,
whatever
okay.
it is that they mostly resonate with.
It's
And
like a
then what tends
friends.
to
It's like a
happen,
friendship dating app, but
it
not
really is,
dating.
but it's a Facebook group too. So
Facebook.
we launched an app, so it's a Facebook group. We launched an app, that's true. And
Yep.
then what we were finding was that as a community, we were finding that it was just easier to just stick with Facebook, because that was a platform where we were all hanging out. So
Right.
step one, make an introduction post. Step two, if somebody found themselves just awash in responses, what can work really nicely is to get in touch with me, and then we'll put together like a meetup series. So maybe she is arty and she'd say, "Oh, well, I've had 53 people comment. Why don't we all go to the art gallery opening at XYZ next week?" Or
So you
maybe she
do
says, "Oh,
events, right?
yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that gives the women an opportunity to connect. So that's the second way, like whether she's somebody sitting at home thinking, "I would love to have a group of girlfriends to go out for a cup of tea with," or whether she's saying, "I'd love to have a group of girlfriends to go to the movies with once a month." Women can contact me as the admin of the Facebook group and be like, "Hey, Sarah, I want to organise this." So we'll have a phone chat. I'll get all that down, and then I'll promote that to the other women in the community who can sign up and head along. So there's lots of cool events on.
Awesome. And then what's kind of the feedback, Sarah? So you get, say I go out with a group, then there's 10 of us that kind of want to go to the same place. From there, you set up an event, whatever it is, and then after that, that's up to the individuals, obviously, at that event to stay in touch with said women. You might not like half the table, you might like three of them. Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, and for years I just promoted one-off events, and then so I thought things were going quite well. I mean, attendees were great. People were saying that they had a really lovely time. And then I did a survey. I think we're about 5.5 years in at this point, and I did a survey, and I was like, "How's it all going?" And then I think about 1,800 people replied, and I was devastated to realise that although the events were great, the hosts were great, and the women were great, nobody was making new friends. And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
Well, that was the whole point, actually, was like,
oh.
well,
So
I
they'd go
didn't
to
give
the
up my day
event
job
and then they'll just
yeah,
leave, and that was it. They never saw each other
yeah,
again.
yeah. So then I
Strange.
ate a big bag of potato chips and drank a glass of wine. And then one of the tribe hosts happened to be calling me. She's like, "Sarah, I've been thinking, I go mountain biking every week. Why don't we organise a mountain biking series, so then the women can have an opportunity to meet each other regularly? Because I actually think that would work better than just these one-off events that we've
Yeah,
been doing."
yeah. Right, make it
Oh yeah,
regular.
that's actually
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's actually it.
So,
So you might go along and click with the women and have a really lovely time, but unless you've met them 2 or 3 times, which is a concept called proximity, which I should have bloody known, then that's not going to give you the confidence to say, "Hey, let's go for a walk on Tuesday." So that's
yeah,
why the
yeah.
events are structured
So
into
that's a
series
good
so the
idea.
women can meet each other.